Hello, West Michigan. This is Grand Tap Media Business TV. My name is Pamela Keim, your host. We are in the studio of WKTV today, and we have a great guest for you today. The spirit of the show is to introduce West Michigan to all the businesses, nonprofits, and individuals can help us thrive in our lives. We are going to be talking to a new business owner that opened up their business, probably the weekend before COVID hit? And they had very much a lot of success. And you can love or hate what some people have an opinion. I wouldn't say hate an opinion, but this is a cigar lounge that is located downtown in Grand Rapids, Bold. And I know the couple very well, Al and Caitlin, and they're going to be here today talking about their business and how they're going to be pivoting. And Al's going to introduce themselves and where they come from and why he opened up a cigar lounge downtown. And what's their vision for downtown Grand Rapids and how are they pivoting this time around. So welcome to the show, my dear friends. I'm so excited for you to be here. And I've always wanted to have Al, and I love having Caitlin, your wife, here too. But I wanted to talk to Al because we go way back and listening to what your military background and your history, what you've given to this country, and then your business entrepreneur mind. Can you share who you are once again, and then talk about what is Bold and why you put it downtown in West Michigan?
Well, my name is Al Casimiro, and I've been in multiple businesses over the past 30 years. I've been smoking cigars all my life. Never thought I'd have a cigar lounge, though. I was always en route to open a bar, but it wasn't going to be a cigar bar. This was kind of my wife's idea, and the whole cigar bar thing, because she knew I liked cigars. And
does she smoke cigars?
No, she doesn't.
But you like I didn't at first too. Now I do. I do. I come to your cigar lounge, but I like the whole clientele and all the people that I meet. You never know who you're sitting next to enjoying a cigar, and you have an instant connection. So is that why you like going to them?
Oh, I love them. I love just meeting people. I'm big into talking business. It's a great place to talk business. It's even, I'm a political kind of guy too, and it's a great place to talk politics with some really neat people, and in a cigar lounge, everybody respects each other's opinion, honestly, for the most part. And, we all got different opinions, and it's just great to sit here and talk and chat. But yeah, I was en route to open a bar, and then the old cigar bar that was here went out of business, and I had been coming for 8 years.
Sure. Tell our audience that don't know where you are. Where are you located downtown?
144 Fulton Street East, Grand Rapids.
So if anybody knows Grand Rapids well, it's like across from St. Cecilia's.
Yeah, it's across from St. Cecilia Church. Yep.
The cottage bars down next door, down the road a little bit.
Yep, it's just around the corner. We have the Indian restaurant, Palace of India next door. Great food. We're surrounded by some pretty awesome restaurants. We have junk food and as well as really good food. So you get the best of both worlds.
Don't you think the cigar, one of the things that I know probably why you did and people like going to them, it's kind of become the town hall. Cigar lounges, craft beer, those, they can't go. But I feel like when we're together, it's probably what happened when people went down to the town hall, they smoked, they talked, and they talked politics in their community, right?
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
It's a great place to go and just sit and relax and have a good time. Whether you want to talk business or just want to sit back and chat with some friends, it's just a great place to go.
So tell us a little bit, because I was the weekend before COVID hit. You had this, everybody was excited about this because it's been closed for a while, right? We were all like, a lot of us that go down there on a regular basis, bring clients down there. That's like I told you, we stayed out at the JW. We have friends that come in. We have conferences downtown. My husband being part of the credit union. And we take them to dinner, and we would head over to the cigar lounge, and you guys were gone. And of course, a lot of other things were going on downtown. But, share a little bit. We were so excited in that weekend, and we were already making plans to come down before the holidays and bring our clients down there, my husband's. And then COVID hits. And so let's talk about a little bit how you guys are like, I just opened a new business and it's downtown.
Well, when we when we started this thing, we had no idea what COVID was. And, we did this, and my wife and I and some friends, some really close friends, we did this ourselves in like 45 days. And our goal was to open up on March 13th, which we made it. We opened up, and we had a wonderful grand opening, over 270 some people here. And it was just busy that day, the next day. And then we heard about this COVID thing. We had no idea what it was. And it was pretty, hardcore at first, and so we closed. I chose to close, honestly, to tell you the truth, out of fear. And I'm a man of faith, and I'm surprised I did that. But out of fear, I closed a day earlier than the governor shut us down. And,
why did you do that? Why were you afraid?
That day, I heard that very same day, I heard of a mutual friend of mine with another guy that actually came here, had died of COVID. And I had no idea what it was. And I said, well, this must be something, because he was a young man and all that jazz. So I said, I'm very protective of my wife and even myself.
Right.
And everybody here, I care about all my people. And I didn't want to take a chance, and I shut down,
Okay.
A little bit later, I realized, to me, honestly, it turned into more of a political thing than anything. Shutting down is not the answer. It's hurt a lot of businesses, but, lucky for us, I've got 2 other businesses that through COVID actually got slammed busy. So we were able to support both with
that revenue.
Right.
Not a lot of people, downtown, being part of downtown is experienced the same they don't have other businesses. You probably coffee shops and people on your street. Cottage bar. I don't know who owns the cottage bar, but there's a lot, especially even people that, like have the music hall. They're not having events. They're not having weddings, all this kind of stuff. It's like, do you guys talk to each other, or are you just here on the street? How's that all work when you're all downtown, like the way it is?
Oh yeah, we all talk. We're all friends on this block. I think really what brought us really together was the riots.
Yeah, talk about that, because you opened back up and we were able to come down there and we heard your story on this. Share a little bit what happened there, because we were like blinking, all of us in the circle, going, "Oh my gosh!" I mean, you literally saved that side of the street for what you did.
I appreciate people saying that, but I did what really I think anybody should have done. I'm just not a man. I'm not a man to run. I'm a man to stand firm and fight for what I believe in. And this is our business is on the street, the riots came. It was craziness out here, and I did what I had to do.
What is it that you had to do? Everybody. People fled the city. And other businesses, you defended your business, you just opened, you just put all of this money into this beautiful, it's an upscale cigar lounge. I want people to know it's not like not that we didn't enjoy it before, but you guys took it to a different level, because you've been to cigar lounges all over the world probably and understand. But what you were talking about is that they were destroying property and they were coming down the road, and you're like, you're not destroying ours. You guys have put your livelihood in it.
I was out front. I was by myself for a few hours until I had some brothers show up. I had 2 other brothers that showed up. I am a Marine, and I have a way of thinking. And I was out there with my AR-15, and I had my 45 on my side, and I had to pull up on a few people. And I had to do what I had to do.
What did you discover by these rioters that were, destroying property, burning the city? The police just almost let them do it. I don't know what their plan was. Wasn't there, but I'm not sure what they thought the people in the suburbs saw this going on, saying, okay, if this is how you're going to handle this, are you going to be able to protect me? I don't know what your thought is on that.
I didn't discover anything. I just knew when you put a green dot on somebody's temple, coming from an AR-15, they put the brakes on pretty quick,
Yeah,
you know, and that's what I did. I had to, and I'm at business, and a lot of, and you got to know how to do that. I mean, I didn't place myself inside my bar as a little mouse, hoping the cat would go away. I placed myself outside my bar, so that way, if there was any physical force put on me, I could, do what I had to do to protect my bar, and I did. We protected the street, and I think that's what brought us together here on this street. Honestly, I mean, we started talking more, and I don't know if these folks talked anyway, but we definitely do now. I think that actually brought us closer, and we're more open-minded and watching out for each other.
So Caitlin, let's talk a little bit. You're part of you guys, you're his wife, and you're part of this whole thing. You don't smoke cigars, but you do work there, right? You can smell it, so you must be okay with that. What did you think about this? You gave him the idea. Why did you give him this idea to do this at this time?
Well, it's kind of like you said, whenever you go into a cigar lounge, whether you know the people or you don't, you sit down and all of a sudden you know everybody. Everybody's talking to everybody. We're all from different backgrounds. We have very young people. I mean, college kids, they'll come in. I call them kids, but they're not. They're grown adults. I know,
when we're older like that, we always call everybody kids, right?
So I love it. It's camaraderie.
Yeah.
It's a place that people can still gather and be like-minded or not, and not have arguments, but you can debate, whether it's political or religious or just here to have fun. I've made so many wonderful friends, and like Al was saying, the business talk. I love the business talk because it's really where we're going with our future, and so we got to do it together. And I don't smoke, but I do enjoy the conversations. I love the aroma. It's not like a cigarette.
Right. Share a little bit about that, because I don't see that either. I don't see it's like a like a bar with everybody smoking. You guys have great ventilation. It's just very classy. If you were to bring people in, if that were coming into town for a conference, or you know what I mean, or out of town, you wanted a nice lounge. So tell a little bit also why you wanted it to be more upscale than what it was the past, because I've been at that.
Yeah, it's just something different. I think Grand Rapids really needed something different. And the Chop House, they had their cigar lounge downstairs, and I believe they still do it later in the evenings.
Not till like 10 or 11. Trust me, we eat there. It's like we beeline it to you guys, we Uber it, because they won't give it. We're done at dinner at 8. What are we supposed to do? Wait for 2 hours? I mean.
Right. It's a little rough because they want the diners that don't smoke to enjoy their meals, and I get that too. I really do. But when my husband took me to the Chop House probably 10 years ago now, I remember going downstairs and I thought, wow, this place is beautiful. I met several people down there. I really enjoyed it. Then I came to the bar that was here before, and I enjoyed everything about it. Then I traveled to Naples, Florida, and I visited Burned by Rocky Patel down there, and it just blew everything out of the water for me. I thought, you know what, if we're ever going to do this, if we're ever going to have a bar, why not have it with cigars? Why not have that little niche? And when Al was ready to pull the trigger and move in here and actually do this, I said, we're going to do this, we're going to do it right, and we're going to do it right from the very beginning. And some people that used to come here, some of them love it, and some of them have a hard time with change, and I understand that too. I enjoy all of the cigar bars in between, whether they're more casual or they're more upscale. I enjoy it all.
You have kind of a dress code. You implemented that. Do you allow dress jeans with what exactly did you guys? Because I've been there, and we always dress up pretty nicely. My husband wears jeans and he wears a jacket. So he looks, pretty upscale when he walks in. But what is the dress code as of today?
Exactly what your husband is what we do, honestly. And I'm okay with jeans, sports coat or something. No tore up jeans, nothing like that. Business casual, basically. I know jeans isn't technically business casual, but we do allow a jeans as long as you got a sports coat or a polo or a button down. I mean, we're really I'm really strict on that. And
I know you are strict. Why are you strict on that? What exactly are you trying to keep at bay, or you want to attract in?
Well, I'll be honest with you. I've been in business for 30 years, and some people don't understand this, but I'd rather have how can I say this? I'd rather make $1 million with 10 people than $1 million with 1 million people. So I just, and I cater to a certain. I mean, I love whining and dining my wife, and I know if I can do this, there's people out there like me that wants to come and do the same thing with their beautiful wives. I mean, look at you and your husband. You guys come in here. You don't feel out of place. I've been to places before where I felt overdressed. I like to dress up, and
Right.
it makes me feel kind of weird, I wanted a place, and I told my wife, I said, here's what I want, and I just handed her my bank card and said, let's go. And she did a wonderful job. But, to build this place in such a way that, people come in here and see it's upscale, you don't, and I'm very strict. I mean, I don't even let you in my humidor unless you are dressed properly to walk in my lounge.
And you go in there and they get assistance. They're not allowed. Back in the day, we could touch a lot of them, but that's not allowed anymore. So you're not allowing anybody to touch the cigars or whatever. So if people were to get worried, I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't know who's touching him. Like mailing them, they don't even know who's if they get them in the mail, they don't know where they've been touched. Right. But I will tell you, I watched you guys in action, and I don't if it's currently through COVID you're doing this, where it's not going to be. We're not allowing people just to touch the cigars, and so what? It
has nothing to do with COVID. If you've ever visited, I mean, Okay, let me put it this way. I've visited a lot of cigar lounges, all over the world. Honestly, I mean, I've been all over visiting cigar. I love cigar lounges, but I will tell you, my favorites are always going to be the upscale ones. I mean, I like going in there and being treated the way I'm treated. I'm treated honestly like a king when you go to those places, and I love that. It's great to, as a man, to have that kind of attention, and also to have your bride have that kind of attention. And me going in the humidor or our humidor guy going in there has nothing to do with COVID.
Okay.
If you've been to like Burn, people like to sniff cigars. There's no reason for that. There's no reason for that. There's no reason to touchy-feely. And nobody wants to smoke a cigar. I mean, it's just not proper etiquette, honestly. And when you have a cigar guy with you explaining to you what we have for cigars, educating you, that right there should be enough. And I've had people walk out of here very happy. If you go and you look at us, we're 5-star rated, and you'll see in there, that they know their cigars. I told them what I like, and this is what they gave me. All you got to do is be willing to explain to the guy or the gal what they need.
I just tell David, go in there and get me something mild. I really don't, I mean, you have like cigars that are 5 to 34, and I just said, make it a reasonable price because it's me. I don't really know a lot about cigars. I enjoy them. I just don't know a lot of them. I just make sure it's mild so I can sit here and make sure it's going to last. Yeah. Within 2 hours, we're going to be sitting there, right?
And your husband knows you. Your husband knows you.
Right.
I run into a lot of people I don't know, and I ask a few questions, and when they answer some key questions, they answer me, and I'm like, okay, let's rock and roll. I'll show you. It even goes down to what they like to drink. I'll pair it up for them.
Right. Okay, so how are you pivoting now? You pivoted well the first time. We talked on the phone a little bit before the interview. Things are changing. How are you doing it this time? And what can we do? Like, I'm a Cigar Lounge, and there's people out there that probably enjoy a cigar, maybe not even heard of Bold, because I tell everyone about you guys, and some people hear from you, and some people don't know what it is. And so how are you pivoting this time around? And Caitlin, is it online, or how are you guys reaching your clients, new clients?
Honestly, we tried to stay open for the first couple weeks of this prior shutdown, and it just wasn't working. I think a lot of people were very scared, very nervous. We sit downtown. I'm looking out the window right now, and it's like a ghost town down here. I mean, we used to see people walking all through the winter, fall, summer. You almost see nobody anymore. And I think it just really, this COVID-19 has people scared. With that being said, we were blessed over the past few months with business. We've had love and support from as far out as Chicago and Florida, people visiting us. With that being said, we have sustained ourselves. And business as usual.
Okay.
You know, and it's actually been kind of nice, honestly. Me and my wife, we were it, and then we finally hired a server and a bartender, and then this hit again. But we were working, 60, 70 hours a week, so it's been kind of nice. We've been traveling. We've been to the Keys. We're heading out here in 4 days to Naples, Florida. We're going to be out there for 10 days. I rented a big mansion house for us to enjoy some time in, as a family, and we're going to enjoy that. It's been really great.
That's good. I'm glad to hear that, because we want it to be there when everything opens up. We don't know the future. And speaking of the future, I'm not getting into politics, but what happened in Washington, D.C., being part of the military as your past, and you probably know people. They have Cigar Lounge right there, in there too, I'm sure, in Washington, D.C. You just, as an American, so maybe you could share a little bit of what you thought as an American. Look at this.
Well, I'll be honest with you. As Americans, as real Americans, I want to say it that way. We're kind of fed up with a lot of things, and we've been, boxed in quite, I don't want to say harshly here, but, we all know what we wanted as far as certain, I guess, Americans.
Right.
And I don't agree with what happened there yesterday. That was very much uncalled for. It was and I want to say this, those weren't Trump people.
Right. I heard that too. A lot of people that were there text me and said you could pick them out. Kind of like people that peacefully protest, and then all of a sudden all these people came and they knew they weren't from West Michigan.
Right.
Yeah.
I think what happened yesterday was just, it wasn't the American way, in my opinion.
Okay.
There's, a peaceful, a protest is a protest. I don't have a problem with that. And I respect all those that were there protesting for what I want to say we stand for. And I am a Trump supporter. I'm not afraid to say that.
But as a military background and what's going on, okay, you can understand the people that are fighting a war that's been going on for 20 years, pretty much. What do you think your thoughts are when they open up their screens and they're across, the world in Iraq and all, doing all this work, going, what is going on?
We adapt and overcome. If you're a military guy, you're taught to adapt and overcome. But and that's not the American way. We're not supposed to look that way. The whole world was looking at us, and we didn't look good. That's not to just be able to, and I say us because we're Americans. Whether you're,
whatever party, we're all fighting for our country, right? We're all Americans, right?
For them just to waltz in there and do what they did, that doesn't say much. DC needs to, pick it up a few notches actually, because they made us look bad.
Did you ever watch Finding Nemo? Any of you? Did you watch that movie, that Finding Nemo? Do you remember when they busted out? They're out in the ocean and they're looking at each other. Well, now what? And that's what I figured they were going to do. They're going to scale the building and go in. I'm thinking it's just like Finding Nemo. It's like you're going to get there. Okay, now what do we do, Bob? I'm like, we're here. And like you didn't think they were going to come in and not take them out. It's like you're not taking over this. It was hilarious. It was sad, but it was funny how these people. And then they were surprised that they got pepper gas. I'm like, what did you think was going to happen? Right. Do you realize so many Americans are just clueless? They've been, honestly, and you see this a lot in the world, it's like they have no idea what the world is like outside of the United States. They think everybody thinks like them. They live our kind of lives, and they know what poverty is. You have been around the world, and you're like, you haven't a clue. And these people are not nice. You're going to go up against them. They aren't going to read you your rights.
I do want to say though, through all this, hopefully we've learned something. We do need to do something different with our whole voting situation. I do believe there was a lot of fraud there, and none of this stuff would have happened if this was and this is just my opinion. Everybody's got their opinion, and I respect their opinion. But if this was a fair election, I don't think this would have happened. Our country, our government has learned something from this, and maybe we can move forward. 4 years from now, have it be different.
Right. Okay, we have 4 minutes. So let's talk about some of the cigars that you have. Let's get some people that love cigars that are watching this. Okay, what do you have and what you specialize in? And so if they were to reach out to you, hey, Al, I saw you. I heard you have this. So you're a cigar person. What would they be interested in?
Well, we are a Rocky Patel lounge, basically.
Okay.
I own the business, but I have Rocky Patel cigars here. That's, we're about 98% Rocky Patel, and we have an area that has some other cigars, some other high-end cigars. So with Rocky Patel, you can pretty much have anything you want. Any cigar you want, I can pair you up with. You tell me if you come in here and you say you smoke a Camacho cigar, I can point you in the right direction of a Rocky cigar that's going to be right up there. You're going to have that nice peppery taste that Camachos give off. I'll have Drew Estates here. We have AJ Fernandez. We have Monte Cristos here. We have all 4 of them. We have Padrones. We have Olivas. Just to say some other few, but we are just mostly Rocky Patel here. And we have a whole slew of Rocky Patel merchandise, lighters, cutters. It's just beautiful. You'd have to come in and check it out.
Yep. And I would highly recommend it. Now that we're looking to the future, and let's get through some of the chaos that we're currently in. We're hoping that the governor moves forward. I think tell us what your vision for this cigar, because I know you already, before this all happened, you were already thinking of expanding because you were doing so well in the 3 days that you were open. But talk a little bit about what you'd like to see for the cigar for downtown.
We're still on goal for that. We have the other section over here. That's going to be our VIP. Of course, I'm a businessman. The business needs to pay for it, and it really has done well to keep us open, even though we're shut down. It's helped us, take care of everything we need to do when we were open. So no, our goal is in the future, we're looking into rooftop seating.
Okay.
VIP next door here, and we have a few VIPs currently that are part of this. But when that opens up, they'll have access to that. But no, we're still moving in that direction. We're still going to be expanding.
Okay. Well, I want to thank Al and Caitlin for being here today. They're the owners of Bold Cigar Lounge. And we promote it all the time. And I'll have you back on because I know you're a business manager. Keep in touch, okay? Thanks for being here.
Talk soon.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right, this is Pamela Keim from Grand Tap Media. We will catch you next time. Take care, everyone.